Hey guys, how's it going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're taking a look at the CZ-3A1 PDW. Now, if any of you guys have seen my previous PDW reviews, you'd know that I'm not a huge fan of this weapon category. PDWs are generally great close quarters weapons, and as someone who likes to play the mid-range game, they just don't really suit my playstyle. They're great guns for domination and TDM game modes, but apart from that, they're very limited in their effectiveness. Also, my other big criticism of PDWs is that there are so many weapons able to outshoot them in CQB, like the FAMAS, AEK, MTAR, and pretty much any of the shotguns. Another important factor in CQB is luck, which is something that a fast-firing weapon just can't help you with. At least one thing the CZ-3A1 has in its favour though is the fact that it's the fastest firing PDW in the game, which does give it an edge over the countless AEK guys that you're bound to run into. But anyway, let's take a look at its stats and figure out just how it works. The CZ has a fairly standard PDW damage model, dealing 25 damage out to 8 meters, which drops off to its minimum damage of 12.1 at 50 meters. This translates into around a 4 to 5 shot kill at close range or a 9 to 10 shot kill at long range. It also fires at a ridiculously fast rate of 1000 RPM, which means that under 8 meters it's hitting just as hard as a FAMAS, but at long range it's going to have a really hard time. Unlike the FAMAS though, it has a 31 round capacity and it reloads very quickly. It reloads from empty in only 2.4 seconds and in 1.9 seconds with a bullet still in the chamber. This is a pretty important stat considering the rate this gun spits out bullets. Chances are you're going to be reloading quite a bit. Now, as this weapon is a PDW, it has a few pros and cons when compared to ARs and carbines. It has a very low hipfire spread of 1 and not a bad moving ADS spread of 0.8. This comes at the expense of a higher standing ADS spread of 0.4 though. The CZ also kicks very hard with a 0.4 vertical kick, a 0.3 pull to the left and a 0.55 pull to the right, which is made even worse by a very high first shot recoil multiplier of 3.3. Its recoil pattern with its accuracy, damage model and a very low muzzle velocity of 370 meters per second makes it almost useless at anything beyond point blank range. Fortunately, at very close ranges though, it destroys pretty much anything else on the battlefield, so assuming that you can limit the range of your engagements, you can really do some work with this gun. It was actually pretty effortless to capture the clips for this gameplay, and during these matches I actually captured a lot more clips that I just don't have time to use. I'd say that if I was playing on any other maps other than Metro and Locker though, I would have had a much harder time. Also, in this gameplay, I must admit I'm not really taking full advantage of the weapon's hipfire, because that's just not how I normally play. Its hipfire accuracy with the laser sight is actually better than its moving ADS spread, so it's conceivable that you could run and gun with the CZ using only hipfire. Like I said before though, luck is one of the biggest factors in CQB, along with reaction time and stealth, so the CZ's exceptional stats won't pull you out of the fire every time. So what attachments will give you a little bit more of an edge? Well, looking at the CZ's recoil, it would probably make a lot of sense to run this gun with a compensator and an angled grip. The compensator will help control the horizontal recoil, but will also make the gun less accurate, which is something that it really doesn't need. I found that running with a suppressor and ergo grip was much more effective in allowing you to chain together longer kill streaks. At under 8 meters where this gun hits the hardest, accuracy, muzzle velocity and recoil don't make a huge difference, so these attachments should work just fine. A laser sight will make the CZ even better to hipfire, so it's definitely worth including this in your loadout, and as with all CQB weapons, a one-time sight should be more than enough. The only attachments I'd stay away from on this weapon are the heavy barrel, magnifier and the higher powered optics, because no amount of help will turn this gun into a decent long range weapon. But anyway, to finish up this review, is the CZ-3A1 worth using over the wide range of faster firing weapons in game? Well, honestly, I'd probably say no. Not including the shotguns, there's at least a half a dozen weapons in the game which would probably go toe to toe with the CZ. These also tend to be the more popular weapons, so you're going to come across them a lot. The CZ is also probably one of the least adaptable weapons in game too, so in almost every case a good all-round weapon would be a much better choice. When the CZ-3A1 is in its element, it's so satisfying to use, but the problem is that it rarely is all of the time. If you really like playing a lot of Metro and Locker, then this weapon could work for you, but I wouldn't recommend it for any other maps. If you haven't tried it out yet though, then give it a go, but don't expect it to become a go-to weapon because it's certainly not one of mine. But anyway, that just about wraps it up, and as always, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And if you haven't already, please check out all my other Battlefield 4 videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below. And if you have any suggestions for weapons or loadouts that you'd like to see in upcoming episodes on this channel, then feel free to let me know in the comments of this video or send me a tweet on Twitter at BillyEatWorld. But until next time guys, see you later and have a good one.